As for the master, the habit of domination tends to poison every aspect of his life. For when the master's whim controls every movement of his slave, the master's power of self-control is weakened and destroyed. The master who recognizes no humanity in his slave loses it in himself. Now, what is the white man saying? The white man is saying, when you rule over somebody to a degree that the white man has ruled over us, you also lose your sense of right and wrong. You lose control over yourself to stop from doing the most horrible, horrendous things because there's no consequences. When you look at America today and you see black men being murdered by the police and you ask yourself, how could they just kill people like this? These people have ruled over us for so long with no consequences that they don't have a sense of right and wrong. The white man that murders you for your music being too loud, that murders you because you ran when he said stop, that murders you just because you had a hoodie on past 9 o'clock at night, does not feel that what he's done is wrong because he does not recognize your humanity. Everybody understand it? Because he doesn't recognize any humanity in you, he himself is not human. The white man is not a human being. The white man does not have compassion and empathy and normal human attributes that make you treat another person with respect. Everybody understand? Why? Because he's ruled over us so long that he's lost the sense of right and wrong. The white man has no morality for a different reason than why we don't have morality. Why don't we have morality? Because we have no self-respect. We have no dignity. We are not treated as humans, so we don't see ourselves, we don't see our lives as having value and worth. The white man is not a human because he's ruled over us for so long that he doesn't know how to be a man anymore. He doesn't know what it means to have respect and kindness and compassion. Everybody understand? I'm gonna get a scripture. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 1. This is a heavy scripture that I like to go to anytime there's a tragedy or the police killing somebody. The Lord spelled out what it is that we go through in America on a daily basis. Everybody understands? This scripture lays it out real clearly here. Let me get Ecclesiastes 4:1. When anybody got it, read it.
Ecclesiastes.
Hold up. Who got it? Imad. Let Imad read. Officer Imad, come with it.
We have the book of Ecclesiastes 4, verse 1. So I return and consider all the oppressions that are done under the sun.
Now, this is the brother said he returned and saw all the oppressions that are done under the sun. Where is under the sun? Does anybody know? Imad.
Earth.
So he's seeing the earth. He's seeing all the oppression on the earth, right? Read on.
And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed.
The tears of such as were oppressed. He saw the tears of them that were being oppressed, right? Read on.
And they had no comforter.
He said they didn't have no comfort. The people that's being oppressed, that's crying, there's no one to comfort them, no one to make them feel good.
Right.
No one to tell them it's going to be all right. That's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in America today. We go through the most horrible conditions imaginable. I mean, so many brothers have grown up with mothers who was on crack. Daddy wasn't there, or he was hustling, or he had your mother hooked on drugs, or he was locked up in jail. Had an uncle who was a homosexual that molested you. Your sister, your mother used to get high and let you, teach your sisters how to be hoes and teach them how to be sluts, or taught you how to hustle and sell dope so that she could get high or make some money. I mean, we've been through the most horrible situations imaginable. You at night in your bed and you crying, ain't nobody there to tell you it's gonna be all right. Ain't nobody there to tell you, man, this is just, this is how you get yourself out of this situation. We oppressed, and there's no one to comfort us when the tears running down our faces. Read on.
Cut. And on the side of their oppressors, there was power, but they had no comforter.
And on the side of the oppressors, there was power, and we had no comforter. I mean, on the side of the oppressors, guess what there was? They had power. You understand? This white man murder you in the streets. Guess what happens at the end of the day? The Fraternal Order of Police comes to the press conference and says, we're going to make sure that this officer is found not guilty of any wrongdoing. There's a system in place for the oppressor that allows him to never face any type of punishment. You understand? And that's another aspect of slavery that I wanted to get into. But come on, Officer Imad.
Now I was gonna say that's so deep. Now I'm saying that you broke it out, just like how you was bringing out China. You said when they poured, they can go back to China because they have power and wealth and riches. But when we poor, we can't go to nobody because we don't have no comforter.
You understand? There's nobody to get us out of the situation we in. Right. But these other nations have advocates. Now, you want to know why Chinese people ain't getting murdered by the police? You think the police love Chinese people? The white man love Chinese people? Hell no. Do we love Arabs? Hell no. Do we love East Indians? Hell no. But why isn't he murdering them? Chinese don't get high. They don't sell drugs. They don't beat their women getting domestic abuse situations. Yes. These people are human beings just like us. They do the same things we do. They get high and fight and go to parties and kill each other. But why isn't the police murdering them in the streets? You want to know why? Because they have power. Let the white man murder some Chinese. China will send delegates to the U.S., to the government and say, listen here, we got the button ready to press it. Let another Chinese man get killed. And y'all gonna see what China about. They kill the East Indians. East Indians say, listen here, all of them companies that y'all sending, y'all got jobs. Listen, the East Indians control every human resources department of every major company. You ever called your cell phone lately and tried to get an extension on your bill? The cat, you don't even understand the cat. This is Mumbutu from Mutubika. You understand? You can't understand that cat. Why? Because he over in East India somewhere. Would you like an extension on your bill? Let me see it. You gotta work with him to try and get a deal. Now, let some East Indians start getting killed. Let 7-Eleven start getting robbed in mass numbers. East Indians will say, listen here, all these cell phone bills ain't getting paid if y'all don't stop our people from dying. We'll shut it down. You understand? The white man does not love these other nations, but he respects them because they have power. We don't have no power. We are the people that don't have no power, that don't have a comforter. Everybody understand? On the side of the oppressor, there's power, which allows them to treat us the way that they treat us and get away with it. Everybody understand? But that it should not be this way. You understand? But this is the situation we're living in because we are still in a situation of slavery. You understand? Now, a slave is a person that is property, right? Someone that is dominated mentally by someone else. But a system of slavery cannot exist unless there's a system in place that makes it profitable. Everybody understand? Slavery in America and slavery in the world is only possible because there's a system in place to protect the interests of the slave master. Here in America, we still slaves today. What stops us from breaking free? I'll tell you, there's a system in place that is designed to keep you a slave. In America, as a black man, let's say you're very educated, you're very knowledgeable, and you go to the white man's schools and you excel, you get good degrees. Don't you know there's a system in place that will block you from getting government loans and bank loans at a low interest rate so that you can start a business in your community? Right. We look at rich black people that get rich and leave the hood like they evil and they leave in the hood. But even if they tried to stay and build a business in the hood, the white man makes it so complex and so cost effective for them that you cannot even make no money with a black business in the ghetto. Now you can put black people to work and help them get themselves together, but you yourself wouldn't be able to make no money. And in America, when you go to business school, they teach you that in any business that's not worth making money off of, you shouldn't invest in. To be a black man that's rich in America and to make a business that will help black people, you have to starve yourself, which is why Commander General YAHANNA is the only man that has done it. To do the job that we're doing in the I.S.U.P.K. takes men who don't care about themselves. That's right. You have to make money and say, here, this is for the family. This is for the brothers. I'm gonna still catch the bus to work. I'm still drive this car from 1982. I'm gonna still work 60 hours a week. You understand? You can't help black people and live good. Now, when I say live good, I mean live wealthy. Live where you relax and kick your feet up. The white man has made it so that if you want to help black people, you're going to struggle yourself. You understand? But for the Chinese, you want to know why the Chinese and the Africans and the East Indians come over here and they're able to start these businesses? Because the white man has made deals with their governments for very low interest rates. The building Y'all see this store down the street, Brownies, right? The loan that they took out for Brownies is half of what it would be if you tried to take that loan. Be a black man and try to buy property on this block and have a business. A white man will charge you double what he charges the Chinese. You understand? Why? Because there's a system in place to keep you a slave. You want to go be an entrepreneur and start your own business, the white man is going to block you from doing that. You understand? You go out here and just go get a job. You understand? There's a system in place to take every dollar that you make and funnel it back in to the white man. There's taxes that come out your check every week. You got to pay rent to live, right? Well, who's your landlord? Slave master. You got to buy clothes, right? Well, who owns all the clothing stores? The white man. You got to eat, right? Do we have land that we own? Is anybody growing their own cattle? Anybody know somebody raising corn? In Philly, no. You take that money you make, go get some food, it goes right back to the white man. It goes back into the system. Right. Let's say you want to rebel against the system. You don't want to go to work. I shouldn't have to be a slave, man. I'm a hustler. I'm going to get my own way. Say you want to start slanging waters. Go to the Sam's Club, buy a 24-pack of waters, right? You buy a 24-pack for $4. You sell each water for $1. You make $20, right? Don't you know that the police will lock you up for having an unlicensed business? Right. You understand? There's a system in place that is designed to keep you as a slave. Let's say you just want to rebel, period, and say, the hell with this. I'm going to start robbing these Chinese and robbing these Arabs that's making money off of my people. Why do you think they got the police for? The police come lock you up and throw you in jail. When you go to jail, what do you become? You become a free labor. There's a lot of things being manufactured and produced in prison right now in America. All those black men are working for free. All those Hispanics are working for free. But there's a company who owns 95% of the stock in this prison. So as black men and Hispanics fill this prison up, what's happening? He's getting paid. His investment is paying off. Everybody understand? Slavery cannot exist without a system that allows it to perpetuate itself or allows it to continue going on. And that is what America is for a black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian man. Right. It is a system in place that's designed to birth you a slave, raise you a slave, and make sure that you raise children that are slaves. The only way we break free from that is through the truth of the Most High. Everybody understand? Officer Imad, you've been dying. You want to say something?
Y'all gonna say, that's real deep. Now I'm saying because today a whole lot of college kids, they going to college. Right after college, they get a job, but because of the white man system, once they go to college and actually get that degree, now they still owe thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on student loans.
You're still a slave. You understand?
That's right.
And then the way slavery today, and it's always been this way, but slavery in a lot of ways is exacted through the money you make. They call it a wage slave, meaning you're working just to pay somebody else. How many of us really is working for ourselves? How many of us can say that? Even a brother or sister that work at Walmart, you're not working for yourself. You're working for the government. You're working to pay them taxes. You're working to pay that rent, pay that electric. You understand? Because you need it to survive. We are completely dependent on this system, on the white man's system, for all the things that are necessary for life. Water. Imagine try to go 30 days without going to the white man for water. You'll die in 3 because where can you get water from that doesn't come from the white man? Don't you know that it is illegal in some states in America to collect rainwater? You cannot put a bucket. I can pull it up for you if you want me to. They lock you up for collecting rainwater. Let's say you decide, I want to, man, to hell with this white man. Bottled water, I'm done with it. You throw the bottled water out. I'm living off the land. I'm gonna be a free man. They catch you collecting rainwater, they will throw you in jail. They will throw you in jail. You understand? Come on with it, bro.
Yeah, I was just quote on the water thing. So you got Philadelphia, you got to pay water on the rainwater that runs off your roof.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You cannot collect rainwater. You cannot collect the rainwater.
Runs off your roof. You have to pay.
They will throw you in jail. You cannot grow if you have. Let's say you have a backyard. You lucky enough to have a big backyard. You can't grow any fruit back there without getting a license from the government. I dare anybody try to grow a pound of apples or a pound of potatoes in your backyard. if the government finds out, the police finds out, you're going to jail for producing agriculture unlicensed.
His neighbors snitch on you.
Neighbors and the neighbors will snitch on you. Why? Because the neighbors mad. Neighbors mad because this nigga getting free water. I gotta pay for my water. They'll throw you in jail. It's hell, man. We living in hell, and we are complete slaves by every definition, by every, you know what I'm saying. Imagine every definition imaginable. We slaves in America. Come on up.
I went to my real mom crib. She Jamaican, down Kingston.
Huh.
So she got cucumbers and tomatoes in her backyard and all this crazy stuff. I'm like, yo, you growing cucumber? I was blown away.
Yeah.
I had never seen nobody do that, and I guess that's why, because it's illegal. I didn't know that.
It is illegal, and a lot of us don't do it not because it's illegal. A lot of us don't do it because we just don't know how to do it.
Right?
I mean, like, you just don't know. How do I? If I wanted to plant a potato garden, I wouldn't know where's the first place to start. You know, that goes to that. Let's go back into the slavery, man. Like I said, this book is real heavy, man. Today, some of us are lucky enough. Some of us have been lucky enough to get out to go to college, right? Get a good job. The problem is, because of the way the white man's system is established, someone who makes it looks at you like they're better than you, or they're on a higher level. You understand? The cat that, you know, was the manager at Walmart looks at the cat that works at the sanitation job like he's doo-doo. He's shit. You get on the train. I used to be in construction. I used to get on the train, and these broads that work as secretaries would put their nose up at me. And I would be on the train dirty as hell because I worked 8 hours and long and hard. But I'm making more than these broads. And I know I'm making more than these broads because we all eat lunch at the same place. I'm downtown working at construction site. 12 o'clock, everybody go to lunch, right? So I'm at lunch at the Chipotle with the lawyer broads or the broads in nursing school or whatever. I hear them talking about, girl, you gonna let me borrow $5 for this lunch today? You know, I don't get my check till Friday. They, you know what I'm saying? I can tell they in certain situations they struggling with money. They don't know I'm making good money. I'm dirty and sweaty and I'm hot as hell all day, but I'm paid at the end of the week. And I would get on the train, dirty and smelly and looking like I've been through hell. And these broads wouldn't even want me to sit next to them on the train. Get on the train and bitch all looking at you all funny, or she move her bag, or she go stand up when you go to sit down, and I'd be like, no sweat. You think you're doing it with your little government job, not knowing I'm making $20 more than you, Shorty. I could buy you back and forth twice. You understand? These people, these people with these government jobs, they look at us like they doing better than us. We're gonna go back into this book and we're gonna show you that these cats with government jobs is no better slaves than you and I. All right. It's page 79 in the book Slavery, A World History by Milton Notes. All right. It says, besides the domestic, the agricultural, and the industrial slaves, all privately owned, there was another kind in Greece, the public slave. So this is talking about in the land of Greece, the different types of slaves they had. And they had domestic slaves. What is that? A house servant. Somebody lives in your house, raises your kids, the nurse, the cat that lay your suit out every day. You understand? Domestic slave, meaning he's in the house. The agricultural slave, somebody that works in the field, picking cotton, growing corn, doing whatever field work needs to be done. The industrial slave, again, that blue collar work, somebody that works as a plumber, electrician, shipbuilder. These were all things that were in Greece. You understand? Same type of jobs we have today, type of jobs they had in ancient Greece, right? There was another kind of slave, though, the public slave. We're going to read about the public slave. It says the governments of the city-states bought workers to perform public services. Everybody understand? The government would buy workers to perform public services. Now, these are services that's not for somebody's house, not on somebody's plantation. This is for the city, for the government. It says this was especially typical. Hold on, give me 1 second. 1 second. Try to give me 1 second, y'all. Trying to do this thing right. I want to put this up for the people on the stream to be able to see it. 1 second. Bear with me. All right, going back, it says The governments of the city-states bought workers to perform public services. This was especially typical of the cities distant from the heart of Greece. The barbarians nearby were a cheap and convenient source to draw upon for forced labor. For example, the Public Works Department in Epidamnus, now Dorazo in Albania, was staffed entirely by slaves. The professions in Chalcedon, now Kadikoy, Turkey, at the entrance to the Bosporus were filled completely with public slaves. In Athens, the policemen, strange as it seems, were a slave corps of 300 Scythian archers. They were armed and had the power to arrest free men. It is difficult to imagine black slaves in the American South armed with guns and having authority over whites. Athenians also used public slaves. Now, we're going to find out how public slaves were used in Athens. It says the Athenians also used public slaves as inspectors of weights and measures, as heralds, registrars, accountants, scribes, and executioners. Slaves staffed the mint and swept and repaired the streets. Now, what does that sound like today?
Police officers, sanitation.
Police officers, sanitation. What do we call those?
Trashmen.
What do we call those type of jobs?
Blue collar.
The blue collar, but they special type of jobs. To work for the city is different than just working for a private company. What's the difference? You work for the city, you got a what kind of job? You work for the city, what kind of job you got?
City could be, they could be both white and blue.
No, it could be white and blue, but there's a title that we give city jobs. Working for Walmart is different than working for the city of Philadelphia. No, it's not blue collar. No, it's not for the city. Let's say you work for the state. Say you work for the young man.
Ladies always say they got a good job, or how they say.
These jobs is special to us as black people. You get one of these type of jobs, you got it. You special.
That's right.
Young brother.
Career.
No, trooper not. I mean, officer not.
Government job.
Government jobs. Black people with government jobs think they didn't made it, right? I got a government job. I'm better than you. I got a government job. Or you working doing this and doing that? I got a government job. Well, guess what? Government job is still slavery. You just a public slave. You just ain't a slave for some private corporation. You a slave for the state, a slave for the city. You understand? Government jobs been around since forever. And slaves have always been used to do the government jobs. Everybody understand? Well, and let's go through some of these things. Inspectors of weights and measures. Does anybody know what that is? An inspector of weights and measures.
That's like weights and measures. Weights and someone that weighs. All right, like you have to weigh a freight train.
Yeah, you got to weigh a freight train. That's the type of somebody that works at the docks. Shipments coming in, they got to weigh the box to see how much it is. Cut like a customs official. Who work customs jobs? Black people. Who at the customs agency doing this and that, making sure, or at the airport. You getting on with a bag, they got to weigh your bag. How much does the bag weigh? You seen white people working at TSA? No, it's black women that's at the airport checking your bag when you get on the bag. Oh, it's a black man. You understand that? Those are government jobs. You understand? Trooper, officer, not.
Basically, the fueling, the airplane fueling.
Airplane fueling. You understand? Weighing of measurements and weights and measures. Heralds. A herald is somebody that it's almost like an announcer. And you go to you want to do anything. You want to announce something in the newspaper, right? Who you gotta go to get your ad posted? You gotta go to the city paper. You understand? 9 times out of 10, the person you're gonna deal with is a brother or a sister. Now there's a white man that's the editor in chief or whatever, but you're gonna go to somebody and say, "Hey, I want to submit this to get an ad run." It's gonna be a sister sitting behind that desk. You understand? Registrar, just like DMV. Going to get an ID, go to get a driver's license. You want to register for a new city. You just moved to Philadelphia. You want to transfer your license over. Got to go to the DMV. Have you ever seen white people work at the DMV? So like, I don't know how it is in Philly, but where I'm from, there's no. I just was at the DMV the other day. There's literally no white people at the DMV. It's all black people working at black people and Hispanics at the DMV. Mean as hell. Officer, no.
You get to the DMV, so I was like, yeah, can I do my job? She's like, get over there.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? But them people with them jobs, they feel like they didn't make it. Why? Because they got government jobs. Everybody understand? I'm gonna read some more. It says, the state paid its public slaves enough to feed themselves and supplied their clothing. They added to their income with tips, usually in the form of food and wine. Government job. What are they famous for? Get a government job. What do you have to buy when you got a government job? Gotta wear. No, you do. Them sisters working them secretary jobs gotta get a new suit. Gotta get them some new shoes. You work at a government job, you can't wear the same suit more than once in a week. They look at you like, what's going on, Thomas? You're slacking in your apparel. You got to go to Joseph A. Bank. You got to go to them. I don't wear suits no more. So I don't even know the name of them stores. But them cats that work them government jobs got 50 suits in the closet. You understand? Then what happened when the holidays come around? They have them government job parties. Christmas party, what's there? Drinks, getting drunk, and food. You understand? They have all types of different functions to boost the morale of the government workers. That's what this is breaking down here. Go ahead. Yeah, the what? The benefits, to get the good benefits, you understand? And read some more. It says, the slaves who were made officials were allowed to have their own houses and furniture and could marry and raise children. They took part in religious ceremonies. They could not appear in court, but were given a patron to represent them whenever the occasion arose. As a black man, you get locked up, you go to court. Can you represent yourself? Can you try your own case? Can you have a buddy who studied law be your lawyer? Nah, you got to be certified by the Bar Association. You can't represent yourself in court. You go to court, you got to have a lawyer to represent you. You understand? Why? Because you a slave. You ain't recognized by the court. You got to have somebody that's recognized. No different now than what it was in ancient Greece. Everybody understand? Read on. It says, the public slaves became skilled civil servants upon whom the state relied to carry out the day-to-day duties of the government, meaning these slaves got trained to a point where the city needed them. The state needed them for their work. You understand? They were the ones in charge of running the city day to day. And you look at black people and Hispanics in America today, what would happen if the DMV, if the DMV workers didn't show up? What would happen to the city? The city would fall apart. Why? Because they couldn't register nobody. Registration on your car, your tags, and everything that's done to make the city make money, we in charge of it. We the ones working at the DMV. You know what the DMV deals with? You get a ticket on your car. The DMV is the one that deals with the city getting the money. Let's say we stop going to the DMV. How would the city be able to get the money for all the tickets they done wrote? They wouldn't. How would you be able to get your court date to show up to know when to go to court? You wouldn't. You understand? The city has become has come to rely on the slavery of these slaves, these public slaves. You understand? It said elected officials came and went in short terms, but the public slaves stayed on the job. With these government jobs, I know a cat that's at work a government job now. When Bush was president, he hated his job because he worked a certain amount of hours, had to do a bunch of paperwork. Barack Obama got elected. He was happy because his job became easy. Barack Obama's about to no longer be president. It's going to be somebody new. But guess who's never going anywhere? Him on that government job. And the people he worked under been there since forever. I got a godmother that's been in government job for 35 years. You understand? Even though the officials might come and go, the mayor might change. You understand? The governor might change. The senators of the state might change. You know who will never change? The government worker. The president changed. He bringing a whole new cabinet of workers to come with him. Whole new secretary of state and secretary of defense. But guess who never changes? The person that punches the buttons on and fills out the paperwork and answers the phone calls. The government workers, they never change. You understand why? Because they're bound into that public slavery job. And once you get a certain type of job and you get used to making the money and used to living a certain type of way, you'll never give that job up. You got a cat that got a good government job. He's been there for 6 years. Get him to quit that job. He'll look at you like you're crazy. He'll fight you over that job. Quit my job? What? You know how hard I work for this job? Hell no, I ain't quitting this job. These brothers that work for SEPTA, you know what you had to do to get in there for SEPTA? Before they let you drive a bus, you got to sweep the floors for about 2 years. Before you get to be able to drive a bus, you're going to have to, take out the trash for 2 years. You can't just you cannot just go get a CDL, show up at SEPTA and say, hey, man, I want to drive a bus. Before they let you drive a bus, you're going to sweep the train steps. You're going to sweep the train. You're going to mop the floors. You're going to you know, take your boss's lunch. You can't just get in these government jobs sweet and easy. Or you got to go to college for 4 years, and then you're paying the white man back student loans. Everybody understand? To get these good government jobs, you got to prove yourself to be a worthy slave. And once you do you jump through hoops for 2 years, making, you know, making minimum wage, they bump your money up $5. You're not going to go back to minimum wage for nothing. You kill somebody before you go back to making $8 an hour if you make it 13. Everybody understand? This government job's been around since forever. It's just a public form of slavery. You ain't bound to just a single master. You bound to the city, bound to the state. Everybody understand? One more line. It says, he became indispensable to the officials above him, and as the reliable and trusted civil servant, he was usually treated well. These government workers are treated very good because the duty that they perform for their masters is necessary. And without them performing that duty, the city falls apart, the state falls apart, and the white man not gonna let that happen. That's why them government jobs are sweet. You get your government job, man, you living by slave standards, you living good. Everybody understand? Officer not.
Would they be like the movie The Butler?
Just like the movie The Butler. Now, was being the butler a prestigious job? No, it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
Being a butler, you was a butler. You was the man that's bringing his cat his tea and folding his clothes and brushing the dust off his shoulders. What black man wants to be somebody's personal slave? That's not an honorable job. You know what I'm saying? Now, does it pay good? Yes. Does the benefits well? Yes. Do you get to have a nice house and a car with your kids and your wife going to good schools? Yes. But every day you got to be a man's slave. You got to be his personal servant. That's a domestic slavery. And today in America, there's domestic slaves all over this country. Anybody ever known a black woman that babysitted white kids? That is a domestic slave. You understand? Anybody? You understand? For a lot of our brothers and sisters that's coming over here from the Caribbean or coming over here from down South America, they come to America and get domestic slavery jobs. Landscaping, that is a domestic slavery. You come to cut somebody's grass every day. That is a domestic slavery. You understand? Officer Yanaquan.
Yeah, there was I used to work in the suburbs, right?
Come.
And I used to see these sisters, right?
Come.
They used to come from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Those places, right? So they would, you know, these sisters would be nannies.
Yeah. Come.
And they would, you know what I'm saying? The white people would give them their car,
Yeah.
or, you know, stuff like that, and stuff like that. They would trade them stuff like that.
Yeah.
Watching the kids.
Being a nanny is a domestic slavery. You an in-house servant. You understand? That's all that is, and it's never gone away. There's still, you go to like Philadelphia, go to downtown Philadelphia in the middle of the day, around 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Go downtown Center City, you'll see black women pushing a stroller with 3 white babies in it. And you like, what the fuck? What is she doing with these 3 white babies? And if you talk to her, she'll tell you she's babysitting. Now, while she's babysitting these 3 white kids, what are the parents doing? The father's at work. The mother is getting drunk somewhere or at a spa getting her whatever done. They got a servant to take the kids out for a walk. Black nannies still exist today. You understand? It's just domestic slave jobs. Everybody understand? Ain't nothing changed, man, from now since ancient times. Only thing that's changed is the knowledge of knowing that you were a slave. The knowledge of knowing you were a servant. You understand? And that knowledge was lost when the white man started to blur the lines between slaves and hired workers. You understand? And we're gonna get that next. We're gonna get into when the line started to get blurred between just being an all-out slave and then being a servant. All right. Let me get so hold up. Real quick. See something.